I'm Jim Cramer and this is Mad Money. You don't know who I am, but I'm from a TV show your dad watches. Look, you're a first-time author. You've recently finished your manuscript, the finish line is near, you're almost ready to publish. It's about time to ask, how much money will that book make? Is it bull or will it bear? Will the people buy? No. Roll credits. Okay, fine, come back. Look, you want to know how many books you're gonna sell. I'll tell you. You can crunch the numbers yourself with what I tell you and get a pretty good idea of what you're gonna make. And then I'm gonna tell you why that doesn't matter. Bull or bear, buy or sell, this is writing theory. Roll the intro. A portion of this video is sponsored by Pro Writing Aid. When you write your first book, you might be hit with these dreams and aspirations of grandeur. The breakout hit, the book that catches book talk by storm. And I hope that happens to you, but it doesn't happen without a lot of work. You see, selling a book is more than just writing the book. It's more than having a good idea, or editing the book, or getting a good cover. There is a lot of work that you'll do after publishing your book. And to be honest, if you haven't published your book yet, and I'm talking self-publishing, it's available to everyone, then you've only done half the job of being an author. Being a writer is putting words on the page, hopefully in some sort of way that you're proud of. Being an author is putting words on the page and getting that book into the hands of readers. If you go through traditional publishing, don't think that this is just completely done for you. Some writers have it in their contract to post content on some social media platform. Other writers working with smaller publishers might get some assistance from that publisher, but really they're the driving force behind marketing their book. Now this could be author interviews, it could be podcasts, it could be showing up at conferences, or even just going to your local bookstore and doing a meet the author kind of event. More than likely though, it's posting on some kind of social media or running ads on some platform. If you're in the final stages of your manuscript, you have to edit that bad boy before you send it out and get it into the hands of readers. Thank goodness that this portion of the video is sponsored by Pro Writing Aid. Take it away, Cramer. Jim Cramer again. Again, you don't know who I am, but your dad does. If you want your book to bull, not bear, then your writing has to be on point. And Pro Writing Aid is the answer. If you want to unlock your full potential, then Pro Writing Aid is the first step to doing that. It's the complete storyteller's toolkit built by writers for writers. It doesn't just give you the corrections on your work, it gives you the feedback you need to improve your writing. Pro Writing Aid gives you actionable advice through dozens of writing reports. Reports like the Readability Report, which highlights sentences that are more difficult to read so that you can work on refining them. Or the Repeats Report, that helps you find commonly overused words or phrases. Or the Repeats Report, which finds wait a minute. The best part is that Pro Writing Aid integrates with any tool that you write with. Download the Desktop Everywhere app and get these reports in any writing app that you use. Google Docs, Scrivener, Campfire, Microsoft Word, you name it, Pro Writing Aid works with it. When you use Pro Writing Aid, your data is your data. Pro Writing Aid uses bank-level security to keep your writing safe and never uses your writing to train its algorithms. Look, I bought a lifetime subscription to Pro Writing Aid over 4 years ago and I never looked back. You can try Pro Writing Aid today and get 10% off of your order when you use my code WritingTheory10 at checkout using the link below. Okay, so I told you I was gonna help you figure out how many books you're gonna sell as a new author. In order to understand that, let's break down your potential book audience. In technical writing, there is the concept of audiences, primary audiences, secondary audiences, and tertiary audiences. We're gonna tweak this concept a little bit and talk about close audiences, medium audiences, and distant audiences. This is important, buckle in. Your close audience are the people in your life who want to support the things that you do. And this is largely going to be your family and friends. These are people who will want to buy this book regardless of the content because they are buying it for you. They want you to be successful. Now, hey, look, keep these people close, and more importantly, Be that same close audience for others in your life. Whether they're starting a business, a side hustle, or becoming an author like you, support the people around you. Now, that close audience is a great support system to have, but it's likely pretty small. It's not the kind of audience that's going to allow you to be a full-time, long-term author. Your medium audience are people that you can directly communicate with. This could be people that you encounter in your area that you live, in online communities that you might be part of, people who might see your social media posts, people that when you communicate with them, there's still an element of some kind of personal connection. Why is that important? People are always more willing to support someone that they know on some personal level. It may be someone that you run into at the bookstore and you mention that, hey, you wrote a book. It may be a neighbor that buys a copy or a friend of a friend. There's still an element of them knowing that they're supporting you, the person. The medium audience is a sprawling web of connections, and we'll talk about how important it is to develop this audience in a bit. Your distant audience is the largest by far, but it's the hardest to crack. These are the people who will only connect to your work as a product, not you as a person. A listing on Amazon or an Instagram ad or a potential review on Book Talk, the product is now solely represented by itself, by the content that you put in it, the marketing effort behind it. Unfortunately, every author is attempting to connect to that same distant audience. Now, your distant audience is not every single person in the world. Instead, it's the audience that you choose to market to through services like Amazon ads. In any system for running ads, you choose the kind of audience that should be shown your ads. The more niche your book, the smaller this distant audience. Are you writing an epic fantasy book? Huge audience. Are you writing a romance book? Huge audience. Are you writing a sweet, cozy fantasy book about talking dogs that will leave you happy crying? Smaller audience. Link below, by the way. So that leaves you with the question, how much money will you make? As a first-time author, you should expect most of your sales to come from that close audience, people who want to support you. The larger that close audience, the more sales you can expect. And remember, this isn't you hoping to exploit the people around you. This is people willingly wanting to support you. When you've published your 15th book, maybe this group might be a little less excited to buy it. But for your first book, your medium audience will be pretty small. But here's the cool part. The longer you write, the more books you create, the more this medium audience grows. These are the people who join your newsletter for updates on your next project. These are the people who liked your first book and want to give the next one a try. These are the people who read book 1 of a series and go ahead and order every other book in your series. They invest in you and your work. At the start of your career, though, this audience will be pretty small. And unless you have some kind of following or you're part of a supportive community, expect to work for this audience as a long-term investment. But this is fun. This is where you get to share updates about your stories with people who really care. This is where you get to talk about how you got your ideas and the characters you liked best in your book. And as an author, it would be in your best interest to find some way to generate this medium audience. Most authors will recommend on creating a newsletter. And I think we could always have more author YouTube channels. Here's the kicker. In a perfect world, getting your book to that potential distant audience makes you money. But as a new author, it will cost you money. Oh, man. You might hear stories of new authors writing breakout hits, but the reality is that there are 7,500 books added into Amazon KDP each day. Take that with a grain of salt. So any new book that comes out without an established audience that becomes a breakout hit, it doesn't happen by luck. It happens by someone investing in their marketing, putting in the work, and then by luck. You can check out this video that I made on how ads and royalties work on Amazon. But let's, for the sake of this video, let's just assume you make $3 for each book that you sell. To figure out how much money that your first book might make, try to put a number on how many people are within your close audience. In my experience, take about a quarter of that number as people in your medium audience choose to support you. These are friends of friends, or maybe people you didn't expect who still chose to support you. And look, you can crunch those numbers, carry the one, and you'll find out that these numbers are pretty small. And that's probably what's going to happen. The real twist here is that distant audience. Here's what I recommend for a new author. If you have the money to burn, run ads on your new book with the expectation that you will not turn a profit. After talking to a few different experts on Readsy about Amazon ads, consensus says that Amazon ads are only profitable once you have a series of books. That way you can spend money on funneling new readers to your first book and hope they continue reading the series. Now you pay for advertising that book and it turns into multiple sales. Right now, with your first book, you pay for every single sale. And if you're spending more than $3 per person that purchases your book through Amazon ads, you're losing money. And again, check out that other video for a breakdown on Amazon ads. If you are a new author and you're interested in running ads, but don't have the extra money to spare on learning how to use these ads, then I would suggest you wait until you publish more books before doing this. And then you'll have a better chance at generating profit. When you're a first-time author, your book sales might be disappointing, especially if you had these grand thoughts and dreams of writing that breakout hit. But writing is a long-term thing. It's something that you build up over years. It's something that starts meager and snowballs into something larger than life. I once heard someone say that if you're getting into writing to make a quick buck, you're going to be sorely disappointed, and I think that checks out. However, I hope that you break the mold, and I hope that you write the book that is the exception to the rule. If you like learning about stuff, whether it's the business of writing or the nitty-gritty narrative stuff, subscribe to the channel. And even better, come hang out in the Discord, link below. We have hundreds of other writers like you who want to talk story and share tips and resources. Come hang out, and as always, thank you for watching.